Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Geotab Africa training webinar series. We appreciate everyone that has registered and is attending our training-focused webinar today. Continuing from our previous training webinar series on Geotab's 6 pillars, we're moving on to fleet optimization. If you have missed the previous training session on productivity, head to our YouTube channel. I will provide the link into the chat section so you'll be able to route yourself to there. Some quick housekeeping notes. Please note that the webinar will be recorded and will be made available for viewing on our YouTube channel or for direct download request. Please make sure that if you have any questions, please type them in the Q&A answer section in the bottom of the webinar screen. These will be addressed at the end of the webinar, and as well as any questions that you might want to ask, just raise your hand and I'll unmute you. One other thing, please complete our survey at the end of the webinar to rate our service. Without further delay, I would like to introduce Mohammed Ali Mayed from Geotab Africa Export Division. He will take us through to today's session. Thank you very much, Mohammed.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is well and safe. Today, I will be discussing the Geotab 6 pillars of innovation. Innovation at Geotab is driven by 6 pillars, which is productivity, safety, fleet optimization, expandability, compliance, sustainability. These pillars represent the many benefits which Geotab fleet management systems and solutions offer to the business worldwide. By using this fleet data management software, the improvement of each pillar of innovation is possible for your company. Fleet optimization. This is today's topic for the webinar. Drive your business, be productive. Key areas of fleet optimization. Few points I will be discussing under fleet optimization. That is reducing speeds, engine diagnostics and preventative maintenance, reducing idling, seeing more clients with less kilometers traveled, preventing unauthorized stops at non-customers, and reducing time wasted at clients. Reducing speeds with exception rules. Some companies have global speed rules. As a company, you would like to enforce speed rules to safeguard your fleet from possible accident and vehicle abuse. In order to do this, you have to create speed exceptions. You can create global speed exceptions by kilometers driven. These rules can be set as maximum for groups for all vehicles. Once the vehicle exceeds this rule, an exception is generated. In My Geotab, you will select rules and groups, rules. Thereafter, you can select the speed that you would like to allocate. Note, this is a global rule and you will set this as a maximum speed. All over South Africa and in Africa, there are road speeds set by local government. Major roads have higher speed limits versus minor roads have lower speed limits. Due to the different road speeds, while having one global road speed is not sufficient. With Geotab, there is power. You can create speed rules based on road speeds. If the road speed is 100 kilometers or 120 kilometers, you can set up rules based on specific of those road speeds. Thus, in My Geotab, you can set up that if a vehicle is driving 10 kilometers above the road speed, it will trigger an exception. If on smaller roads, minor roads, if the vehicle is driving 65 and the road speed is 60, you can then create rules based on the minor road speeds. All these road speeds created are great. However, reducing speeds with notification with Geotab, you don't need to go to a PC to have a look at which road speeds have broken. You can get automatic emails. These emails will assist you in notifying which driver has overspeed. You can set up single users to have emails or multiple users to receive emails. Once these emails are received, you can immediately notify the driver on what rules is broken. We also have notifications for users. If you have a control room set up or you have My Geotab users that are logged in, if any of the exceptions are broken, the user will get a pop-up on the screen or an urgent pop-up, thus allowing the user online can immediately be notified. Reducing speeds with in-vehicle alerts. Reducing speeds many times users at the office are aware of the violations broken. However, the driver is not governed, thus he continues to break those rules. In order that the driver also is aware that he's breaking the rules, in my Geotab, you have the option that when he breaks the rules in the vehicle, there will be audible beeps. And you can set up these beeps according to what speed rules he's broken. You can set up a rule that if the driver is oversped the first time, it will be 3 times. If he continues with overspeeding, you can set it up that it will be 3 times rapidly. And if he still continues, you can set up that the vehicle will beep 10 times rapidly. This will then assist in the driver being aware that he's being monitored. With Geotab, we have also other options where the Garmin, if the Garmin is connected to Geotab, when the driver has broken a violation, on his messages, he will see, on his Garmin messages, he will see you are overspeeding. This immediately will notify the driver and he will then stick to the speed limits. With Geotab, we have the Go Talk. The Go Talk sends a message to the Go Talk when he's overspeeding. In audible alert, the driver will be warned, you are overspeeding. With my Geotab, we have many tools that assist the driver in curbing his overspeeding. We have the option of a change status, where the driver also gets a notification when he's overspeeding, thus he acknowledges on the Garmin. Engine diagnostic and preventative maintenance. Preventative maintenance. By discovering engine faults before breakdown happens, Geotab helps you to proactively fix engine issues early before it result in costly repairs and vehicle downtime. Thus, assisting in managing engine fault code information helps you to reduce vehicle inspection times and costs. In order to generate these reports in Geotab, you will select engine and maintenance, engine and device, and you will select faults. There you should generate on a daily basis all your fault codes, and this will assist you so that you can reduce any critical faults before the vehicle breaks down. Geotab has a lot of measuring tools. My Geotab offers many powerful measuring tools that will assist you, including predicting battery health. With the engine fault reports, you can set up exception rules for vehicle batteries that has low voltage in assisting you in advance on these issues. Thus, you can replace the batteries before the vehicle has a breakdown. Preventative vehicle maintenance. In my Geotab, you have options to set up different reminders. In my Geotab, you select reminders, reminder rules, and there you can select which type of reminder you would like to set. You can set reminders based on license fees, vehicle insurance, vehicle finance reminders. And once these reminders are set, you can set them based on vehicles or by groups. And when these notifications are set, you will then get reminder rules on which maintenance or reminder or license this expiry is due. Reducing idling. This may look as not important factor. However, a vehicle with excessive idling causes excessive fuel usage, and idling in areas that you should not can make the driver vulnerable to hijacks. With this feature, you can set up rules. If a driver is idling over a certain period, the in-cab buzzer will beep. Thus, the driver identifies that he is now excessively idling and he should continue his trip, or he should park off the vehicle to avoid fuel wastage. Lockdown on unauthorized stops at non-customers. In order to monitor unauthorized stops, clients should always create the customer zones. Make sure that all your customer zones are created. This will assist in identifying which customers is stopped at. And in Geotab, you can set up rules based on customers, zone types, and if the vehicle is outside the zone. And when these rules are created, you will immediately see in your trip list when vehicles are not going to unauthorized stops, and you can see this data on the map that it will not be marked as a star, meaning it's stopped at an unauthorized stop. Seeing more clients with less kilometers traveled. Once all the zones have been created and the driver is aware of being monitored, he will make sure he only goes to the clients he's scheduled to, thus eliminating and increasing visiting more clients and driving less. With Geotab, we also have the Garmin dispatching. With Garmin connected to the Geotab device, the Geotab can send custom addresses to my Geotab or messages, assisting the driver in getting to his client in time. On my Geotab software, by right-clicking on an address, you can dispatch the vehicle to the exact location. So the driver doesn't waste time in trying to find the address or type the address on the Garmin. The My Geotab user from the map location will send the address and the driver will get the notification. Once the driver gets a notification, he can acknowledge and the Garmin will route him to that location. Identifying underused and spare equipment. With My Geotab, there are vast reports that can assist your fleet in different fields. One key report is the top 10 devices underused. This report will assist you in identifying which vehicles are not being utilized. Thus, you can identify, are these vehicles needed or why are these vehicles not used? Are they in the service center for repairs continuously? Thus, avoiding excessive costs. Other measuring tools. With measuring tools, you improve the uptime, reduce risk, and reduce premiums, thus making it safer, compliant, and more profitable. With Geotab, you improve fuel consumption and reduce your fuel costs. What is fleet utilization? Asset utilization is the who, what, when, and how your fleet, being aware of what usage is trending in your fleet, will help you answer. Is your fleet being used in its fullest potential? In times like these, where operations might temporarily be scaled back or even ramped up, checking fleet utilization reports more frequently is helpful for fitting vehicles to your changing business and needs validation if vehicles are being used effectively, efficiently, or not. Key performance indicators for fleet asset utilizations metrics included days driven, drive time, mileage. You can easily view these vehicle statistics from your telematics system online without needing or consulting equipment logs or timesheets. My Geotab provides a standard set of reports to help you easily access vehicle utilization. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed, for that insightful details. Is there any questions? If you would like to ask a question, just raise your hand. I will allow you to talk. Mohammed, there's one question. Are we able to link the speed limit to a certain area, for instance, like the mining industry?
Yes, very good question. With Geotab, you can set up zones, geofencing in certain areas. Once the zones are created, you can then create speed rules based on the specific zones.
Good day, Ryan.
Good morning, Mohammed. Thank you for your presentation. Referring back to your slide where it says pop-up messages will go through to a control room. Is there an action that can take place? So let's say for argument's sake, the controller doesn't action that pop-up. Do I as a manager get notified? Is there any way that we could set up reports like that within the system? Thank you.
Yes, with exception rules, you can set up that the exception rules notifications don't only go to specific users, they can go to specific managers also, so they can be notified. And these notifications also by users can be dismissed, and the manager can see which notifications are dismissed and attended to.
Is there any other questions, panelists, or from the attendees? One other question, Mohammed. Sort of what kind of examples of preventative maintenance can you give us?
Okay, preventive maintenance, one critical thing is to set up your license expiries, all your rules regarding what your vehicles, when the license are going to expire. So once you set up all those rules, then when these rules are due, immediately you can be notified. So it's very critical. The same with exception rules. If you want to monitor clients going to customers, your zones needs to be created. For your maintenance reminders, you make sure that your service levels, check your fleet, what type of services they need, 5,000 kilometers, 10,000 kilometers. So in advance, when the devices are installed in a vehicle, you should set up all your rules, look at which vehicles, what type of service levels they have. And once you've set up all those service levels, kilometers, when those services are due, immediately you will be notified.
Thank you, Mohammed. Good day, Ryan.
Mohammed, again, thank you. On that point of services and that, do you have a slide there that says underused vehicles? Can you elaborate a little bit more on how do we identify? Because I think that is one of the issues with many fleets, or do we have the correct amount of vehicles and are they utilized to the max? I know you used an example by saying, should a vehicle be in for a service and so forth, but could we elaborate a little bit more on unused vehicles and how are we able to monitor through the system? Thank you.
Yes, right. So with the Geotab, we have the watchdog, the health report, and we've got reports that calculate how much of distance the vehicles has been used. So with Geotab, you can run reports based on a weekly, monthly basis, and those reports will give you the amount of distance traveled. So if you've got 5 to 10 vehicles and you run a report, now this report will immediately, instead of giving you the top 10 usage, the top 10 least usage. So you'll see all these vehicles with the least kilometers, 0, 0, 0, 0. And for a month, if 5 vehicles or 3 vehicles out of 5 are not being driven, that immediately will pin out to say, why are those vehicles not being driven? So that is very effective to identify why the vehicles are not being used.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. I don't see if there's any other questions. Said you can reach out to us directly if you have any other queries pertaining to this webinar or any other information. I would like to again thank all participants for joining today and hope to see you in the next one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.